took away from reading this book, Having a Merry Heart in a Martha World, is not what I expected or even what I was looking for when I read the book. We all struggle in our walk with God, and I want to share with you a little bit of what I learned in hopes that it will encourage you on your own walk with God. Our relationship with God has three essential components: the prayer, the word, and time. And I want to talk a little bit about each component and how it will help us focus on God. The first element is prayer. Prayer is simply communicating with God. It's talking to God and listening to what He has to say. Prayer helps us to grow closer to God and gives us a more intimate connection with Him. I've been struggling with this lately. I've really been neglecting my prayer life. And when I read this book, this is what I was hoping to be inspired to improve, was my prayer life. The second element is the Word. The Word is the Bible. When we want to know what God thinks about a certain topic, this is where we go, to the Word. Studying the Bible is another essential factor in improving our intimacy with God. This was sort of a discovery for me because, well, I don't mean that I didn't realize that Bible study was important. It's just that now I see it as a piece to a bigger whole. And I never really thought about it that way before. For me, Bible study has always been kind of hard, unless it's part of a group study. When I study the Bible by myself, especially the Old Testament, I get bogged down, I get frustrated, and I either give up or I go back to the Gospels, which I really enjoy. So while I guess that I never thought that Bible study was optional, I didn't realize it was essential either, and I know that doesn't really make sense, but that's what I got from this book. It helped me to put these pieces together, and so I could apply it to myself. The third element is time. I know that if I don't take the time to pray, I can't communicate with God. If I don't take the time to study His Word, the truth will not unfold for me. This is where I need the Mary Heart to help me with my Martha mentality, because I get all caught up in the day-to-day, busy, and so I don't take the time and I don't set aside the time to talk with God. I really like what the author has to say. The truth of the matter is, the rougher the day, the more time I need to take with my Savior. So the more time that I spend in prayer and studying the Word, the more God's image is imprinted on us. We get more of Jesus and less of ourselves. And Jesus says in John 14:23 that if we love Him and obey His teachings, He'll actually come and make a home with us. So I've talked a little bit about the three essential elements of intimacy with God, and I just want to share a little with you about my plan to implement this in my own life. On page 74 of the book, she talks about a woman named Emily Barnes who has a special prayer basket that she always keeps on hand. And in it she keeps her Bible. I have 4 of them up here. A devotional or inspirational readings, and I have a devotional Bible here. A box of tissues. A pen for journaling and note keeping, and a few pretty cards in case she feels inspired to write a note to somebody she's been praying for. I looked on the internet and found a companion Bible study that goes with this book, and I printed it out, and that's going to stay in here as well. I don't know if you remember a couple years ago on Facebook, there were always like these surveys. 25 things about this, 10 things about that. And I don't remember what this particular one was about, but one of the questions was, name 3 things you always keep in your purse. Well, I have 2 friends that I remember their answer. One was my friend Lynette, who said she always keeps Lancome lipstick in her purse. And this struck me because we were just sort of outdoorsy tomboy kids as little kids, so that struck me as a little odd. But the other answer that I really remember was Sarah's answer. She said she always keeps a Bible in her purse. And I've always really admired that answer, but I've never done anything to emulate her example until now. This was my grandfather's Bible. He got it in 1970 when he became a Mason. So while I may have to buy a bigger purse, it's going in there right now. Okay, setting aside the time. I'm going to try setting aside right before I go to bed. Try doing it in the morning before, and that works out great in the summer, but then when school starts, it just kind of falls apart. But I also want to be flexible about this time because I don't want this to become like a chore or something that I feel like I have to do. I want it to be something I enjoy. So I'm going to keep this basket near my bed, but the nice thing about it is that it's portable. I can take it into the living room or out on the porch if I have a few quiet moments during the day sometime as well. So I hope something of what I said has struck a chord in you, even if it's just a little reminder about how important our walk with God really is. What I was really looking for when I read this book was just some guidance for a better prayer life, but I got a lot more out of that. So by including the word and the time along with the prayer, I really feel I'll have a better relationship with God, and so can you.